Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Quest III. I am Rufal, playing this game for you. Woo! So, decided not to do terribly much grinding. Mostly because, an iron axe is only 5 points better than a steel sword. It doesn't seem like it would be that big of a game changer. So, mostly I just worked on getting a Cloak of Evasion for Puppy. Speaking of which, at some point, I think the thieves stole another poisoned dagger from the Flamipedes. Didn't see that coming. But, rather than worry about that, let us head to the pyramid. Wherein, there are very initially hutch chests. However, of those 8 chests, 4 of them are empty, and 3 of them are canna boxes. Now, canna boxes are, of course, were originally known as man-eater chests. And, well, at the current power level of my party, I would be able to take one down in 4 rounds, that is supposing being that the canna box decides to hit Bulma, Rhine, then Puppy. The canna box hits in the 80s, so they won't survive those hits. But yes, at the last junction to the left and right, there were empty boxes. Here, to the left, there's an empty box and 2 of the canna boxes. Yeah, we don't want to go that way. Oh yes, and north was a dead end. One chest to be found on this floor. And this is also the pathway to the only E-box with something of relevance on the ground floor. So, here's our box here. Wisdom. Down here, I believe this one's empty and this one's a canna box. I don't remember which. However, this one over here is a small metal. So the most obviously away from everything is the only chest of value on the ground floor. It's worth keeping in mind. Where are all the enemies? Just don't want to play, I guess. A King Toad and a trick bag. The trick bag is, well, target that first because it will either run away or it'll do things to really mess up our day. You know, like casting Surround. But yes, the trick bag was only worth 1 experience point, but it was worth 350 gold. All the rest of that came from the King Frog. Now we've arrived upstairs. And, well, do you remember the song from the children? It should tell us what order to push these buttons in? Yeah, I find it hard to remember too, but, well, if you can just remember the ins and outs of things, then you'll be alright. Mummies are actually worth being scared of. That's why! Ow! Oh, no wonder it beat the crud out of Puppy. It wanted its stuff back. Inside and outside. boy, oh boy. I have Roof will use Fireball because that generally consistently does higher damage than the Boomerang, since it does about the same amount of damage to everything. However, Bulma has learned to whistle. Which, yeah, you call for monsters. We're pushing this button. Sound of some large stone moving can be heard in the distance. What stone is that? What's the stone that was sitting here? Hooray! Now that we have the magic key, we can actually finish looting the pyramid. And just like the thief's key, the magic key works perfectly well from inside the bag. Speaking of bags... Elusive bugger. Uh-oh. Alright. Go! Yeah, as shown, the trick bag will do a lot to annoy us if we don't kill it quickly. As far as continuing upstairs in the pyramid, it really doesn't matter whether you go left or right. The two sides are an absolute mirror of each other. Just end up on the other side of up here. No difference. And that was the door we needed the magic key for. As for these boxes, all 12 of them, well, all of them are guarded. However, they're guarded by mummy men rather than just mummies. Mummies are a lot more dangerous than mummy men, so, basically just auto-combat this. And get with the speed of the thieves, and that meteorite armband on our hero. Yeah, these guys aren't gonna last long. However, there's a magical skirt. Which of course only the women in the party can equip. And that's Bulma. Now she's wearing an actual skirt. Oh well. Let's open up the rest of these.
Thank you, Bulma.
Alright. And, well, spin us, we're really only 3 items of note from all that. One being a small medal. Let's throw that in the bag too. Another being this ruby ring. Which, well, we'll get back to it. Yeah, you can put it on. And the other one being that stone wig. The stone wig, as you might notice, an accessory that raises defense. It raises defense by quite a bit. Seems pretty powerful, which of course means one thing. It's cursed. What does it do? Well, before we get to that, let's talk about the ruby ring. The ruby ring changes their personality trait to vain, and nothing else. Nothing else apparent, anyway. I don't know if it gives any additional defenses or other stuff of the like. However, it does sell for a lot of money. Nearly 8,000. The stone wig is cursed and gives you the personality trait of stubborn. That's all it does. All the curse does is keep you from taking it off. However, stubborn is a particularly terrible personality trait. So, yeah. Depending on the build you're looking for with a character, it might work out, but it's not my cup of tea. Oh well. Let's continue up the pyramid. Try to find another box, which has the flashy suit. This flashy suit is armor for goof-offs. However, it being only 3 points better than the magical skirt, and the magical skirt actually offering other defenses in addition, flashy suit's going into the bag. But that is one of the better armors for goof-offs. Oh, out here we've reached the top of the pyramid, where there is something to be found. It's right over here. Aha! However, we are not quite done with the pyramid, as there's one chest left to get a hold of. Before we do that, we are definitely going to want to heal up.
Let's see. Chuck that in the bag. I want you to put that in the bag. Oh, that ticket you stole.
Alright. Now we're on to the hardest part of the pyramid, and that is the basement. What makes the basement so difficult? Well, chiefly that there's a strange force that prevents magic from working. On this first floor of the basement, there isn't too much of note to speak of. Except, of course, for the enemies. There is a particular enemy down here that's called a shadower. This enemy it can be any other enemy in the game. It's chosen pretty much at random, but I think what enemy it is likely limited based on what level you are, or what you've encountered. However, I'm gonna search here and find us a stairway. Down here through the magic key door, we find the aforementioned shadowers. However, I'm going to kill off those mummies first. Good work, Bulma. We didn't get any indication of what those shadowers might have been. we're starting to see the real upside of this party. Because it's all physical based, this basement down here isn't as dangerous as it could be. As if you had spellcasters. However, here in the casket, we have a choice. Do we want to open it? Yes. Moving the lid from the casket, we find the golden claws! Hooray! However, from out of nowhere, an eerie voice is heard. Misfortune will plague those who steal the golden claws. What misfortune is this? Well, now the encounter rate has exploded. We will encounter something every 1 to 3 steps. As long as we are in the basement of the pyramid. Yes, unlike in Dragon Warrior 3, the Golden Claw doesn't attract monsters all the time. It's specifically while we're down here in the pyramid. So if we can make it out, then the claws are ours with no detriment. But that's gonna take me a while, so I'm going to say goodbye here and call off the commentary, and I'll see you next time. Feel free to stick around for the escape. Till then, later.
the curse doesn't break till we get out of the pyramid.